Stream. Yes, I am absolutely sure I do. Okay.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Deadman's Tome Podcast with your host, Mr. Deadman. Joining me tonight is the one and only M.R. Tapia. You might know him from Hindered Souls. You might not. You might actually know him from a few stories that Deadman's Tome has published. I think one on the actual site and one in Monsters Exist.
That is correct.
I mean, I'm not forgetting it, right?
Hello. What's that?
I said, I don't think I'm forgetting any.
No, I had a Mad World on the website a few years back, and then I was part of the project known as Monsters Exist.
That's right. That's right. You were, and that was a big project. That was something else. I mean, if I had to do it again, I would. It was a cool experience overall. I mean, it made for a pretty good product. The way, so I'd definitely do it again, for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. It was fun collaborating with everybody and watching it, being part of it, watching it unfold and everything. So that was definitely fun.
Yeah.
And definitely wowed by the public too. I mean, what is it? I think last time I checked, it was somewhere around 100 reviews and still strong above 4 stars.
Oh yeah, the reviews are crazy. And I mean, first off, the people behind it, there's a few people, they know who they are. They went, come on, they outdid themselves on getting reviews. It became like a joke within our own little group. It's like, come on, how many reviewers do you need? But wow, it's a lot. And I was like, wow, damn, this is a pretty strong 4-star. You're not gonna get a 1-star troll to mess with this one. But and every now it's one of the anthologies that no matter what time of the month sounds like a chick. No matter what time of the year, it performs well. It sells well. It's monsters, so it's good.
Oh yeah, yeah. Monsters is a year-round love.
Mm-hmm. And it had a lot of talent in it. Had John Palacino. I'm probably missing his last name. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, John. Palacino is how I would pronounce it. But
that's probably how it is. I mean, he was in there. There's a few others. I mean, Gary was in there. Marchese. Everyone we know was in that. Calvin was in it. Teresa was in it. It was good. I had to get everybody together again in a room, cut the egos, be like, all right, let's work. Come on, let's do it. Maybe we'll have like a family reunion. That'd be interesting. That'd be cool.
Feels like an old 70s band that's trying to get past egos and get back together.
Yeah, right. I mean, hey, even like even Metallica had that. Metallica had like their own. They had therapists. They have therapy sessions to like keep the band together because everyone has egos, man. That's for real.
I mean, what did it take Guns N' Roses 20 years to finally get back together?
Oh yeah, I mean they have major egos. Come on. Axl Rose? Come on, man.
Him alone.
Wasn't he doing a country thing for a while?
Did he really?
That's what I heard. I don't know. I heard that he had a short country career. All right, for those that are listening, if you are watching, please let yourself be known. Say something in the chat. Say, hey, man, your voice is sexy. Of course, you're talking about Tapia, not my voice. Come on. Let yourself be known. Send in questions. It'd be great.
Blushing over here.
Oh, two shout outs.
I get.
Two shout outs real fast.
What's that?
I said I have two shout outs, just real fast. One, Shitfest, Deadman's Tome Shitfest, brand new anthology. Look, if you are looking for a laugh, and a good time, Shitfest is it. It's going to entertain, all right? If you like that sort of stuff and you haven't purchased it yet or read it, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? The other announcement. Oh, hey, Tapia, have you seen Shitfest?
I have, and I need to get it. I'm waiting for this to end, and it's definitely getting put in my cart, my Amazon cart.
Man, it was fun putting that one together, and
I bet
the stories, the type of stories that came in, and Marchese really helped on molding the shit, giving it some form. He's like the sculptor of shit. In a way.
I mean, he did the cover too.
He did the cover.
Really fun
he did.
Too.
It was a sweet cover. I like that cover. It's great. It looks nasty. It looks like the type of cover where, like, if you were to kiss it, touch it, lick it, you would get like a disease or something.
Yeah, I feel like it should be shipped out with the wet naps, the wet napkins they use for like barbecue joints and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Back, maybe.
I was thinking, I wish there was a way to have it where it's packaged with like gloves, like, you know, latex gloves to keep yourself safe. Maybe some Germex or something. You know, before you read this, you should definitely wash your hands well and put on some protection, because what you're about to touch, what you're about to read, is pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up shit. Well, the other announcement is, and I just released this today. This is brand spanking new. This whole thing, the Deadman's Tome, the Meat Grinder. What this is I want to take the whole like Attitude Era of WWE. I want to take the intensity of UFC and somehow put the whole blood sport attitude in competitiveness into literature, into just like writing stories and put them out there. So the Meat Grinder, what it is, when stories are submitted to that, I'm not even gonna read them for quality, because what it is, you're sending me a story, and we're gonna have the readers. We're gonna have the readers, which consists of other writers, maybe other authors, grammar Nazis, who have you, maybe your mom, maybe your dad, and they will beat that freaking story with their brutal honesty. Now, will you last? See, that's the thing. Are you going to be shamed out to pulling your story down, or is it going to be praised and be like, oh man, this is a great story, this is great, I want to share it around? That's the Meat Grinder. And stories that last.
Yeah, I think.
I was gonna say that stories that last, they get some money. They get like $20. So it's a little something.
I was trying to look into it a little more earlier when I seen you post it up, and then I mean, with it being Friday, it just, you know, next thing you know, you have 2 hours before you're normally going to sleep during the week. So I'm definitely gonna look more into that as well. See what gets thrown into the grinder.
Well, you should check it out whenever you get a chance. Right now, there's 3 stories: Canvas, Double Click, and Bitches. They already sound like wonderful stories. And I told him, look, you guys are pretty much betas in this little program, and it's different. Like, you're getting me permission to publish your story on the site, but at any time you can withdraw. Okay, at any time you can say, I'm done. I want to pull my story, and it's done. It's off. Okay. Because the thing is, will it last? Can it? And right now it's pretty easy. Right now it's up to the author. But I might tweak it to where it's like, you know, if you get like consistent hate, Like people are just like, man, this is the worst story I've ever read, or this guy needs to learn how to write consistently. You might, you know what? It might be like, it'll treat it like Coliseum days. Like, what do you want? Does this guy stay or does he go? You know?
So is there an audience that's able to provide input on that, or their opinions on the stories, or?
Oh, yes.
Elect.
Most certainly, yes. And that's what makes this good. I mean, that's what makes it, that's what makes it workable. Like, I like anthologies. I like, you know, publishing books and magazines and stuff, but that medium allows no real interaction with the writer. You know, there's no interaction there. You read it.
Yeah.
Maybe connect on Find Tapia. Maybe you read oh shit, the Revolution. What, the Blood Revolution? What's that story called?
Oh,
Monsters
Blood
Exist.
Revolution.
Yes. Let's say you read that.
Yeah.
You touch Tapia, be like, hey, I got a Chupacabra story to tell you. But other than that, there's no real interaction. But imagine they read it, and they can give you that feedback right away because it's like on a blog post or something, and they could share and like and, you know, do all that.
So much interaction. I mean, that alone would, how can I say? I mean, it would have been awesome if you think about it, you know, to have done something that in that manner without the technology, of course, but with someone like Stephen King, like reading his earlier work and giving him opinions, like, dude, you kind of suck, like, step your game up, or hey man, you're getting better, you know. And then to actually see him blow up into what he became.
That would be. That would have been.
It would be awesome to within the indie world and watch somebody move up and even move into traditional publishing and be like, I told him he sucked a long time ago, and now look, he's doing something.
That's right.
Or she.
I mean, that's right, man, and that's what I like about this. And I did this before, back when Deadman's Tome was paying for like the amount of views, likes, and comments. But you know, I ran into some problems with that because it was like, well, I'm not really getting paid, so how could I really afford to pay you guys? But I think this model will work because I have the writers competing with each other to get paid. And I just sent an email tonight, and I was like, hey, I just want you three to know this story's in the lead, so you two need to step up your game. Because what's going on? Man, that's what I want.
Funny.
I want it to become something. I have an idea, I have a dream, and maybe it will. Maybe it'll come to, you know, maybe it'll be the blood sport that I want it to be. But okay. Enough about me. Enough about Deadman's Tome, man. Tapia, what's going on, man? What's going on with Hindered Souls? What's going on?
Oh man, nothing but. We're still in our infancy, but we're starting to hit a little growth spurt. We
you getting some
you know, I started
dropping some balls? Getting some hair on your chest?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think I found a curly one down below. But yeah, so last year I was swinging with my own stuff just to try to start receiving some attention, and finally opened up submissions and received some great ones. It was hard to turn some of them away, but not having a complete team or anything. I mean, you know how it goes when you're running solo for the majority of the time. It's hard to be able to accept the world as we all wish we could. But I ended up signing. We released Siphon by A. Medina in February. We got Renee Miller, who's pretty popular out there.
Renee Miller's good. Medina's good too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then the crazy Leo X Robertson. We have.
He's also another. Yeah, good name. Good name.
So we're gonna open up again in November. Hopefully, reach a wider audience, you know, a lot more riders. And yeah, we've got a busy year coming up. Anyways, we've got the next 6 months. Once a month, we have that we have a booth at, and we be there with all of the books and everything we offer. So definitely busy. Definitely.
That's pretty cool. So you are very active in the con scene, right? Like going to all the conventions.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah. Last year we did 2 events. We did a small Comic Con here in the Front Range at the bottom of the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. That was our first one. That popped our cherry right there, and man, was it fun. And then we ended up doing
no, it's all right.
What's that?
I was gonna say, so you got a booth there. You were set up, ready to go. You had some books to sell.
Yeah, and at that time, all we had was my novella sci-fi experiment and the original anthology that I threw together as an experiment, which ended up being very, very fun and taught me a lot about the publishing game. And that's all we had. And we still received quite a bit of love there. And I told my fiance that day, I said, we have to make a presence at some convention. So we ended up doing another one in December. It was called the Denver Punk Rock Flea Market. And it was as punk rock as it can get. It was in this old abandoned, I don't know, necessarily abandoned, but it had that vibe to it, warehouse.
Could be like a bunch of tables. Could be like a Saw warehouse. Could be like a Saw scene, you know, like that sort of thing.
And they could have filmed some scenes there. And the heating was gone. They had meant to get heating in there, and it all fell apart last minute, and there was no heat. I mean, my toes were numb for 6 hours. I had to send my kids off with their grandparents because it was so fucking cold. But it was
at the end of the day, me
and it was just. I mean, we were like, we have to go back next year, and so I just applied with them. Actually, like 2 days ago, I believe it was.
Okay.
And hoping to go back for the event.
And that was a legit convention. That's a legit place. They organized. Yeah. Someone organized that event to where there's no heat, so it's as cold can get, and like toe numbing cold. Did you sell any books that day? Tell me you did.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It was fucking awesome.
So
we got our money back our booth at the first Comic Con, and then some. And we had the same luck at the Denver Punk Rock Flea Market. We came there as well, and it's just we've received nothing but love every time we go out, even amongst people that look your way, crossing paths in the middle of the street or something, or in the supermarket.
I see. I was gonna say, in Hindered Souls, I mean, you guys also sell your books online, right? Like Amazon and I don't know who else, but you sell online too, right?
Yeah, definitely through Amazon. We also have our online store. You get a little more a little more bang for your buck there. Excuse me.
Oh, no problem.
Doing a Marchese over here.
Hey, no problem. Hey, we're drinking local beers here. Drinking some Texas beer. This place like down the road, literally local.
Yeah, I got one. I'm drinking Extrovert IPA from Left Hand Brewing Company. They're about 40 minutes south of where I live.
Isn't that the that's the same brewing company that makes like the milk stout, right?
Oh man, that milk stout nitro.
Yes.
I mean, if you pour it correct, you've seen the video I posted on Instagram. The correct pour, I mean, it just cascades, and it's beautiful. It's a work of art there.
It's sexy. It
is.
if you could fall in love with a beer, that's one of them. So I want to ask, because like, okay, so you sell online on your website and on Amazon, but do you make more by going to like the conventions and selling them there?
Definitely. It's maybe because I'm in my, HSP is in its infancy, but it's almost complete night and day. Maybe it's when I'm out there having fun.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't consider myself a very social person, but I can have fun. When I'm out there, I just fall into an element where I can converse and bullshit with anybody from anywhere. It doesn't matter who, and I somehow,
that's good.
At the end of the day, I look back, how the fuck did I even spark a conversation with that group or that group? But
hey, man, that's part of being versatile. That's part of having a flexible personality, man. That's good. That's a good trait to have. Chill with these people, chill with that person.
What's that?
I said that's a good trait. You chill with this person, chill with that person. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and I think it deals with my upbringing, because when I was growing up, by the time I hit 12, 13 years old, middle school, I was over there smoking weed with the skaters, skating myself, and then, on the other hand, I was gangbanging. This is all a little bit of my past here.
Gangbanging. Oh, gotcha. You weren't gangbanging like a MILF or something. You were just like gangbanging.
No, not even on the tube back then. We didn't even have Pornhub then, but but yeah, I think I was able to connect with jocks and everybody, because the funny thing, the common denominator was, for the most part, parties. Getting drunk when you're 13, 14 years old, house parties, smoking.
That's damn straight, man. Everybody likes getting fucked up.
So with all that history and everything, a lot of the bullshit I've gone through, I consider myself a humble man, where I don't see myself better than the next man, but I don't see the next man better than me either. So that kind of puts my thought process on the same level of whoever I'm speaking to, which makes it easier for me to speak to them as well.
Hey, and that's a good trait to have. Sounds like you're pretty level. You keep yourself pretty humble, sounds like, which is cool. Cool.
Right.
Keep an open mind.
If you ask my son's about to turn 13, he'd probably disagree with us and be like, he's cool, but he could be a dick.
Be like, man, you're talking to an asshole, Dad. That Mr. Deadman guy is a complete asshole. You can just see it on his face.
Oh, no.
That's the face of an ass.
Oh, how that about me?
Oh, wow. Well, of course he would say that about you. You're his dad. He probably is like afraid of like talking bad about you in front of you, maybe.
Yeah. I hope so.
All right, man. Hindered Souls. It's brand new. Like when did it start? When did Hindered Souls start?
It started with the anthology.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
2016. I had a bad shoulder. For a while there, I was dislocating it on average every 6 months. I dislocated it 8 times within 4 years. And so I finally set up surgery for it. And they told me I was going to be out for 3 months and at least 3 months of work. So my idea was, fuck yeah, I'm going to, I got tired of seeing some of these publications that were asking for reading fees. On top of that, they were saying they wanted only exclusive submissions, and they were only going to respond to people they accepted. I was like, fuck that.
Gross.
I'm gonna open it up. Anybody, I'm gonna. So yeah, within those 3 months is when I got it going. I got a website up and decided to go through what, at least on a minimal level, what publishers go through, you know, whether it be anthologies or just any press in general. Excuse me, seeing gators. But so I jumped into that pool and had complete fun there. I mean, that's where I met, you know, Bowler, Marchese, Teresa, everybody, a lot of people. And so then I put that out, and I began shopping around. I finally got my novel Sugar Skulls where I wanted it, where I felt comfortable submitting it. And so I started shopping that around and received a couple of offers, and was realizing they were asking for the majority of royalties, little to no marketing. They were telling me, you know, it's going to be, you're the one that's going to have to push it. We're going to publish it for you, but you're going to.
And where did you send it to? Who did you send it to?
Oh, I think I have like 4 pages worth of people that I send it to. I was on a mission.
Yeah.
And
because that's a common thing.
There,
was it like a what do you call them? Like an indie press, like an indie pub?
Oh yeah. I at first I was shopping it out to lit agents, literary agents, and then I started shopping it around to independent presses. One of them is, I believe, actually shut down.
Oh yeah, they shut down because hey, let me tell you something.
One of the ones.
Let me tell you something. A lot of these indie publications, they may look like legit, and they are. I'm not gonna say that they're not legit. I don't know. Maybe some aren't, and they're, you know which ones I'm talking about. But the people that run them, they have full-time jobs too, and the reason why they do is because hey, it's not paying their bills either. Like Sinister Grin, Sinister, is that their name? That's one I know.
Sinister Grin.
Yeah, like those guys, they have full-time jobs as well, and it's kind of like a labor of passion, of love. It's not enough for them to live off, but they seem to be doing something. They seem to be making waves and releasing things and working with known authors. So there must be something going on there, some return. But that's horrible. So you send Sugar Skulls out, and they say, "Oh yeah, we'll take majority of your royalties, but we're not going to do shit." I can't stand that, man. I can't stand that.
Yeah.
And I hear your story, and I swear it kind of reminds me of the same reason why Deadman's Tome was like. I at that time, I was seeing a bunch of publications shut down. You know, and they close so many, like so often. It's so frequent that we're like a horror magazine, a horror zine just pops up and then dies. It doesn't have to be horror; it could be any genre. But it's like, okay, well, what's going on? Maybe I could try it. And then, if you're going to ask me now, like what it is, what's the reason why they shut down? Man, they're just not making the money to keep it going, and they lose the passion. They lose.
Yeah.
You know,
that's one of the only that I can think of when I see some of the presses shut down as well. Because I'd imagine after a while, the passion, you know, for some people would end up relying more on the finances than anything. Where if the finances isn't matching your passion anymore, it's going to start dropping everything down, and you know, then you get to the point where, why am I doing this?
That is so true. That is so true.
I come to when I these presses, and it's kind of a bad thing, but I mean, you've been in this game for shit. When was your first?
Deadman's Tome has been around for a while. Deadman's Tome's been around, I think, since 2008, but it only really got serious lately. Like when it first started, it was like a labor of love. I want to do something, and it was free. I wasn't paying anybody jack shit, and the magazine was free. And it was like you would get it directly from the site. It was like a PDF file. And then Kindle started making waves. I was like, oh. And I didn't really know how to... I was so new and amateur to it. I was like, I didn't know how to like put the PDF or to take that PDF... Sorry. The magazine, I wanted to look like a magazine when you read it. And you download it from the website. So that's why it was a PDF file. So I was like, okay, what now to try this new format, do this and that. But later on, it just turned out that I got involved in other projects like filmmaking briefly. And then it sort of just collected dust. And then I restarted it like, I think 2016, I think. It's pretty recent, around a year before Krampus. So, yeah, I think 2016 is when I restarted it.
I think sometimes you have to go through that type of shit too, though, to realize the love and passion you have for it. You know?
Yeah, you do. It really helps. Pain's perspective, and man, that perspective goes a long way.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But yeah, some of those publications that made me offers. I mean, they were not only were they saying, you know, you're going to be the mule, and we're just going to carry the whip. That's all we're going to do. They went down to the detail where, you know, within the contract, it was saying, okay, your cover, you can give us an idea of what you want, but we're going to make a final decision whether or not, you know, and the final cover, whether or not it follows anything that you wanted, that's what you're going to get.
Okay.
But that was part of the whole thing behind Hindered Souls Press, where I was like, you know what, to me, the writing of the novella or novel is the fucking hard part. It takes a lot of work, takes a lot of time. I mean, if you're an indie writer, for the, you know, chances are, like you were saying, you're going to be a full-time worker on the side of that.
You have
and
to.
A lot of people have that.
You got to pay the bills somehow.
Exactly. So my thing was, I'm going to offer the lion's share. I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure the cover is what the author wants, because at the end of the day, it's their baby, you know. Eat the Rich, that's Renee Miller's baby. You know, Jesus the Scumberg, Siphon, that's their respective authors' babies, you know. And it's,
hey, man, you know, that's a very, very respectable angle right there. And, you know, I'm sure there's some that'll be like, oh, but you should have the decision because, you know, maybe you have some insight about the market of what works, what doesn't work. You know, that's what some of these publishing houses use. Be like, oh, well, we know the industry. We've been around for a while, so we know what sells. We know what's going on. But at the same time, you can just look at one of the more popular seller websites out there, Amazon, and see what's selling there. Oh, you mean this is selling? This stuff is selling? Oh, easy. Okay, let's make a cover that looks like that. Okay, boom, done. Come on.
Yeah.
But in your story, so you start off looking for a publisher, but then you become the publisher.
Mm-hmm.
So now I got to play devil's advocate here. I got to play devil's advocate, Tapia. Isn't that just another way of saying you self-publish?
Oh, yeah. Indie publishing is pretty much self-publishing, if you think about it. If you break it down into layman's terms, whoever runs the press, you know, is pretty much self-published material. You know, it's not, because traditional publishing, all it is just professional publishing. It's people that make their living off of this type of stuff. So they have more of the insight, the connections and everything, the power to be seen out there.
Mm-hmm.
So you could take, in my opinion, you could take even some of the more known horror indie presses, like even if you go with the Bizarro, you know, the Eraserhead press and you know, a lot of these presses that have been around way longer than what I have. But at the end of the day, that's how it started. That's what independent really is. I mean, you look at it in whatever format. It could be whatever genre. It could be, you know, music. Independent music is just self-published music. Macklemore, you know, any of these indie rock bands. It's all, they're avoiding either the not mainstream, I should say, but just some of them break through even independent-wise. But just going with the traditional. You got independent filmmakers that are making it big, but it's still independent. It's still them putting in the financing and finding out ways to get the financing to be able to release it to the world. So I think independent publishing in general is just a more, how can you say? I'm at a loss of words right now.
Oh, it's okay, man. It's okay.
More organized way of publishing, more of the larger community of self-publishing.
Now, do you ever get any like flack for that? Do you ever get any negative responses for that?
I haven't yet, but I mean, we are still fresh. So if anything, I would embrace it with open arms, because it could either be, you know, something that's going to teach me and make me open my eyes to something I'm doing wrong, or prove to me that I'm doing something right.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense. Now, what about for someone that would say could say, hey, you know, you just self-publish your work. Who's your gatekeeper? How do you know if it's really quality? Things like that.
And that's funny, because I was actually talking to my fiance about this the other day. Is my work in progress that I got going on right now, I'm thinking of not even publishing it under Hindered Souls Press and just seeing if I could get it published somewhere else to prove myself to myself. And, you know, it's nothing new. You look at Stephen King, he wrote under Richard Bachman, I believe it is, to prove to himself that he was a good writer, that it wasn't just his name selling. And then also the Beatles did the same thing. They started writing songs for other bands to see if they would become hits, and because they thought it was just their name selling all their music at one point once they hit, you know, the Invasion and everything, and they were still hits. Not saying that mine's going to be. Maybe I'll be rejected everywhere, and then I'd have to move forward from there and decide what to do with this project, which is going to be a little on the.
Well, I wish you success. I hope you success, and you know, this is also coming from someone who pretty much self-publishes a lot too, because in a way that's what Deadman's Tome is. You know, I am kind of like how you with Hindered Souls, am assuming the role of a publisher and somewhat of a gatekeeper, and sometimes I get help, like Marchese, and before that was Teresa, and I may get some other people, you know, to kind of help out with editing, being more of I guess like a stronger filter, if you will. But you know, there is that, I guess, I wouldn't say like quality check, but there is like an eye looking at it and going, okay, we could work with this, we can make this work. And that's what I look at. I'm like, okay, how are we gonna market this? And that's what I try to do. So I'm going from that, like when I self-publish something and I have a few titles, and I try not to like put them on blast too much, because I kind of want to see how they perform, like just using certain keywords and just certain categories or whatever. I want to see if, like, do I even know the market enough to really be saying, oh yeah, I can promote an e-zine, I can promote an anthology easily. So that's why I do that. I do that to like test my, I guess, marketing skill, as well as like, I guess, my writing ability. But so in that,
Marketing, the devil's definitely in the fucking marketing.
Dude, it is.
That's the hard.
It is intense.
And that's what
sometimes.
That's what to me separates independent publishing and traditional publishing, because traditional publishing, they have a marketing team, they have a separate editing team, they have a separate, just the submissions readers. They have people for every little detail of the process.
Man.
As independent, us, especially as the publishing houses, become everybody. We become the marketers, the submissions readers, the editors, the formatters, every detail ends
We're everything. One guy.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
2 people.
But at the same time, I feel like there's that much more passion within it too, because who else would be crazy enough to do something like this and devote so much time to it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
yeah,
I'm having a fucking blast.
But man, you are hustling.
Where we've gone.
You are a freaking hustler, man. You are getting out there. You're doing something that I straight up honest and envious. You're hitting the con scene. I wish I could do that. You know what I say? I wish I could. I bet I could make it happen. I need to make it happen. Because, man, that's where you interact with people. That's where you interact with people, man. And that's what I want to learn from. That's when, teach me the way, sensei, about going out there to the conventions and develop networks and, meeting people and all that stuff. I just be like, here I am. Here's my booth. Deadman's Tome. Okay, now what?
The funny thing is, my first Comic-Con, we showed up and set up and everything. Once I got set up, I sat down, and what I learned that day was everybody sets up to have enough time to go walk around before the day even begins, before they even open the doors. So my first hour, I'm a very prompt guy. I'm always early to everywhere, work and everything. I'm half an hour early. But so I finished setting up, and I had maybe 45 minutes before they opened the doors. But I didn't realize that. So I'm seeing people walk by, taking a gander at everybody's booth. And when they would walk by mine, I'd panic, and I knew I needed to interact with them somehow. And I'd start talking to them. Hey, what do you like to read? What do you like to read? Which I've learned those questions don't get you far at all. It's more about the interaction as before you scout them than anything. But anyways, that's besides the point. So I'm sitting here trying to scout to other vendors that I didn't realize were other vendors until they started telling me, oh yeah, we're down the row, or we're on the other side, and we're in the middle somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me like a jackass. And so that day I learned, wait until the doors open. You start to see, you could start to recognize who's a vendor and who's there to spend money and who's there just to have fun, especially at Comic-Con. People just go just to cost.
You know what? I was gonna say, it makes so much sense now that you could make up or especially a return on your investment, because people go to a convention to spend money. They're gonna spend money. They have money, and they're ready to spend it. So, what do you have that they can buy?
Exactly. And one of the big things is early in the day, you're not going to sell jack shit for the most part. It has to be something that's going to catch their eye and make them not want to leave it behind. But for the most part, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, well, I'm going to keep you in mind, but I just want to make sure, I want to go see everything else first. I only brought so much money with me, so I don't want to spend it right away.
Yeah.
So we've actually done the first half of the day is usually, from what I've experienced so far, is the interaction itself is bullshitting, going out and taking pictures with someone that's dressed like someone from Tokyo Ghoul or these crazy ass cosplay.
All right,
second
cool.
half, you don't even time to interact with nobody because you're sitting there swiping a card and, you know, talking about some, giving out business cards and selling another book or selling 3 and, you know, T-shirts, stickers. And the second half of the day is where time just flies.
Man. So
they're exhaustingly.
How man, I just would ask, so how was it just getting set up? Like you were just like, okay, I mean, how did your booth even look? Like it was just like a sheet, Hindered Souls, here we go. Let's get a black Sharpie, Hindered Souls table.
That's what it boiled down. Especially the first one, because we didn't, like I said, all we had was Hindered Souls anthology, Dark Tales for Dark Nights, and then Sci-Fi Experiment. That's all we had.
Man.
You know, for 2 whole days. So luckily for the Sci-Fi Experiment, the cover I did myself. I had help of one of my friends, lifelong friends.
Yeah, that cover sells itself. With the eye.
Yeah. So she did the special effects. She's huge into that. She's actually slowed down. She just had her first child, so bless her. But
and she got she got that close to your face to work on your eyes and that detail. Wow, nice.
Yeah. And then the mask I made myself. I bought a weight belt, a weightlifting belt, notched out the eyes, the mouth, and bought the dental mouth gag is what it's called. And so that I actually had as a prop. So people to see the cover of the book and then actually see the prop that was used, and on the inside it's still covered in the wax and blood, fake blood and everything. That's cool. Catching the people's attention. And
that's pretty intense, man. That's a good way to market. Damn it, dude. See, you have it. You have it. And I look around too, and I see Hindered Press on Facebook. You know, you've I guess kind of like hijacked certain, like, I guess, popular photos or, you know, movie stills. You put you know, you put the cover of your book there, and lately I've been trying to you know, like, have fun with the adverts, with the promo material. I'm like, you know what? Did you see that Monsters Exist ad?
Was it the one that you did with the guy that touches his temple about the, you know, good thinking or something like that?
No. That was a shit fest. And that made me fucking laugh. I was like, it was like, can't die of natural causes if you shit yourself fatally first. If you fatally shit yourself. Yeah, that was hilarious. Can't die of natural causes if you fatally shit yourself first.
Yeah.
No. This Monsters Exist ad it's a dude. You don't see his face or anything, so no one can sue me. It's just a dude, all muscle chiseled and all that. And where his dick would be is the huge cover of Monsters Exist.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that one. That was the shit. That's funny shit.
I put that out there. I was like, let's see if this does anything. And
that was.
There was a bump.
I remember the day.
There was a bump in sales, man.
Was there really? I think it sells. I think it's fun because, I mean, there's this indie press, like, the name escapes me right now, but they do elaborate, you know, adverts. They're very well put together. They look very professional. But to me, it just becomes, you know, monotone, just not eye-catching. It's like walking through the Walmart book aisle. Every cover resembles each other.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd rather
they start looking like one another, and especially if, like, on Twitter and Facebook, there's a lot of people, and even Monsters Exist had that, where a lot of people like to market or sell their books or anthologies or whatever. They have, like, these typical backgrounds, and then they have, like, this text. Get it here at Amazon. Monsters do exist. It's cool. Yeah. It's catchy a little bit. But, man, that photo with the dude that caught so much more attention than any of that other stuff.
He was butt naked too, right?
Huh?
He was butt naked too, right?
Yeah, he was butt ass fucking naked. It was the most time I spent staring at a penis. When I was putting it together, I was like, man, now I'm gonna have to hide all this, otherwise my wife is gonna think I'm looking at gay porn. Oh man.
Yeah, I'd rather someone look at the advertising and laugh at it, and have the off chance that they laugh at it and move on, but they get a laugh at it and it sticks in to where they see the next advert and it catches their eye. They're like, wait, this is the same dude. Like, what, you know? And it makes it more of a fun environment.
It does. It does. And hey, if you can make it like a successful meme, hey, you are playing with power. You were playing with power right there. Man.
There's some of these memes that are just mind-blowingly simple, and you're like, fuck. It's one of those.
How'd that happen?
Things like, yeah.
And you get to that level, you're playing with currency, man. You're printing money. Mm-hmm. You have to be. So when you did your stuff, and you had like the Fight Club, and he's hoping I think he's holding with the siphon. Is it, or is it the?
He's holding siphon. That was my siphon push for the pre-sales. That one was fun.
Did it work? Did it work?
My fiance actually asked, she's like, "Well, can't you get in trouble for this?" And my thought process was, I fucking hope I do. Are you kidding? Chuck Palahniuk is a hero amongst transgressive authors. He's a modern day hero, I should say. The old heroes are, of course, the Beat generation, and you got your Bukowski and everybody. But man, I was like, fuck, I hope I get in trouble for this. You know how much publicity this would bring to the Hindered Souls press?
It'd be great.
Like, fuck.
Hey.
Fight Club, Edward Norton.
Mm-hmm. If Edward Norton were to freak out over that. But see, here's the thing. It's the internet. Those images are so easy to find and so easy to modify. And they happen so often. It's so, like, they would have to pretty much burn the internet down to stop all that shit. And it's not like you're printing out a poster of it and selling it.
Exactly.
But you know what? Some people do. There's people at malls right now that are selling bootleg shirts that look like other shirts. And what are you gonna do with that? What are you doing with that?
I mean, shit. That's ever since technology came out. That's pirating has been a huge thing. Yeah. Shit, I could go down to the top, half a mile down the road, and they have a van. This already sounds like a rape ban or something, but with the DVD books filled with pirated movies, and I gotta eat, so I'm struggling. So yeah, I've bought a pirated DVD every once in a while.
Hey man, I get that.
When I could get,
I've done that too. Hey, Showbox. Have you ever had Showbox or Kodi? You get Kodi on your phone. Showbox. Man, that helps out so much. Man, you get Kodi on your phone, and then you install Showbox from that or something, a bunch of other things, and then you pretty much are playing with movie streams. Legit.
No shit.
Yeah, it's like
the first time I watched.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, this is Skype. I don't think you're hearing me the moment I talk, and that's because our connection. But that's okay. You use what you have. This is what we have.
Yeah.
See, this is why I want to step up my game, man. I'm impressed. I want to start hitting the con circuit and really raise up money, get a legit studio for a 24/7 Deadman's Tome radio show with like music and just like shock jock shit, interviews, guests on there. Hopefully that day will come. That's the dream. But
that would be badass. be on
I need to
the satellite radio. Damn it, I can't think of it. Even Howard Stern has a station on it.
On Sirius XM?
Here, yeah. Channel 72, Deadman's Tome. All cool. Day.
All day. Every day. All right, all right, all right.
4 hours of Deadman pop.
I didn't do that today. I didn't go, all right, all right, all right. Deadman's Tome podcast.
That's juju.
Yeah. I was
start all over.
We do, man. We do. Start all fucking over. Nah, man. So, I mean, you're doing a great job, though. You're reaching out that way, and do you find that you need to, like, diversify any, or is horror by itself working for you?
I always say it's more of dark fiction, because I feel like dark fiction can be a lot more broad than what just horror itself. People think of horror fiction, they immediately think of Stephen King first and foremost, of course, and then after that you have Clive Barker and those things. But horror is a lot more open than a lot of other scenes, or than what people realize. I mean, there's weird horror, funny horror. I mean, look at Shit Show.
Hey, and Shitfest was, I think Shitfest was close top 100. It was, I think it was what? Shitfest was very quickly top 100 for like a little bit in comedy horror, short story, weird category. But yeah, crazy. That's
badass. Yeah, HSP. That's what we're trying to do. Is we're trying to, be able to offer something for everybody. Okay, you don't like, extreme horror. We got something more on the commercial side, or you want some more transgressive, just weird reality type of thing. But at the end of the day, we want to publish work that's going to make you, when you're done reading the book, you're going to see new things about the world that the world constantly hides on a daily basis.
That's cool. That's what I want from from reading a good book, from that experience, is to kind of get a new sort of perspective. Like, wait a second, could this even really happen? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, scrape some of the sugar off this fucking sugar-coated world.
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people, they live their own lives. They work, they spend time with their own family, and that's it. That's what they know. But what's going on around them, they're completely oblivious to, because it's not there. It's not even in their peripheral. Even though what they don't know is that it kind of is. It's just hidden away. Like, what if I were to tell you there's probably a girl a few houses down, 13, who has probably already been targeted by like human trafficking to the point to where she's being tracked by FBI? What if I were to tell you that? I know it happens.
And
I know that happens.
Yep.
Personally, I know that shit. And once you start seeing reality, once you start getting like the full picture of like what people are capable of and stuff, and then fiction starts becoming like, oh, well, yeah, that happens. But most people don't have jobs that do that. Most people have like a simple 9 to 5 or maybe an office job or a construction job, or something, retail, or maybe they don't have to deal with all the ugliness of humanity. But like, one of my favorite books is American Psycho. Man, I like that book because I just like how it just painted the ugliness of Bateman, but yet he made it seem like he was cool with it. To him, it was all normal,
Yeah.
and no one else would predict it or assume.
And it was knee deep in culture too. I mean, shit.
Oh yeah,
Alice dedicated chapters worth of just breaking down what the culture was too, you know. And fucking, I can't remember some of the bands he just broke down, and I feel bad, but I mean, I love. I can't think of his name, the actor that portrayed him, but the movie didn't do the book justice at all.
Christian Bell.
The book,
Christian Bell played a great Patrick Bateman. He is Patrick Bateman. Yeah,
but the movie didn't do.
The movie has problems. The movie has a lot of problems, and
yeah,
and
Patrick.
There's scenes in the book that like were just flat out not even in the movie. Like there's a scene in the book where like he kills a kid, and he puts the kid in a trash can, and he reflects on how normally when he kills people, there's a sense of like he took their life, so everything that they were he took, but this kid wasn't anything. He didn't have a life yet, so it didn't. It's like he almost felt remorse, but it wasn't really remorse. It was more like he's just not satisfied, I guess, with himself.
Yeah. Well, then there's that part too where he used clothes hangers, I believe, on that one female too.
Oh yeah.
Years since I've read it. I mean, that one dug me.
Man, there's
one
where
like
like
they were gonna.
He's cooking brains. He's lathering himself with Be Gay. He's running around the apartment complex. I'm like, he meets Tom Cruise apparently. I'm like, who the fuck?
Yeah.
What's going on with this book? Jesus Christ. Oh man.
And then it's funny. They try to do this scene in the movie too. They did a decent job in the movie, but in the book it's just hilarious, and I couldn't imagine how it would be for that era, you know, especially for businessmen, when that whole scene with the business cards where each one is stepping up the game card in the next one, and man, there's just so much lost without the narrative in movies.
Mm-hmm. What they did that scene well. That scene, okay. There's a few scenes they did well in that movie. The card scene, definitely the blanket scene. You know, any scene where like Patrick is like, I think just about I could say any scene where Christian Bell is allowed to actually act and be like a narcissistic asshole, like when he's picking up the hooker, when he's having sex with the hooker. Yeah. He's like, don't stare at it, eat it. Jesus Christ. But then the movie just the problem is that the book doesn't have like an ending that a movie would typically have. It has like, is this all in his head or is it not? That sort of ending.
Yeah.
So, and it's hard to end a movie like that because it's, I guess you want closure.
Well, then they ended up making a part 2 out of it.
Oh yeah,
I have no desire to watch it because I feel like it's just gonna ruin the majesty that was part 1. You know?
How are you gonna make if part 1 was based on a book and it barely even did a good job of that? It didn't even do a good job of that.
Yeah.
What's part 2 based off of? Bullshit? No.
I guess it becomes fan fiction at that point. All it really becomes is fan fiction.
Yeah, and it has what's her name? What's that actress's name?
Mila Kunis.
Yeah, I mean she's attractive, but she's no Patrick Bateman. She's no female Patrick Bateman.
No. I don't know if there exists a woman that could play a female Patrick Bateman.
You need an ice queen.
Probably.
No, there are. I can't think of their names, but you need someone who's an ice queen. You need a woman who's so beautiful, but yet is carries herself in a way to where like, man, if you come across her, she's just gonna fucking bite into you and take your soul. You know, like, I was gonna say maybe maybe
Cool.
Melania Trump. Maybe she could, but I don't think she could really talk well. It would have like a Russian accent, you know. So I don't know.
Maybe a Bollywood version.
Ah,
She might pass in ball
maybe.
and then get her head off.
Yeah, maybe. Look at that. Oh, man. Man, I don't know where we started, and now we're talking about. Oh man, hey,
That's good. Oh, that's.
Hey, what you got going
We
on?
might as well be each other in the bar. You know what I mean? That's
that's the point of the show. That's the point of the show.
Everything.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on now with Hindered Souls? Okay, so I have not read Siphon, and I probably should. Wait, is it out? It is out, right? It's out.
It was released Groundhog Day.
Okay, so how is Siphon doing? Tell me about that.
Siphon's doing good. I think it's doing better than anything I've released, which makes me feel good because that's what I want to do. I want to, release work that just keeps topping each other, like keeping the readers thinking, I can't wait to see what they come out with next. But I don't think it's received not even a neutral review yet. It's been receiving great reviews right across the board and very fun, very short. We actually just released the audio book on that as well, on Audible and
I sampled that. And I was surprised. Ted Brooks.
Yeah.
Wow. How did you get that motherfucker to read your book?
I approached him and asked him if he would be interested in auditioning, and he said yeah. And it took him about 2 weeks, to submit an audition. So I'm guessing, I don't know, maybe he was kind of iffy or not. But anyways, I figured he wasn't. I figured I wouldn't hear from him again after a week or two. And I approached a few different voiceover actors, but once he auditioned, it came down to him and 2 others, and then that got broken down to him and another, and I felt like he gave life to Gary. Gary is the name of the protagonist.
Gary Buller?
No, that was actually an ongoing joke between Medina and Gary Buller. But no, Gary Phillips. He brought life to him. He brought life to all of the characters. It was amazing what he did with it. I was, and especially once I offered him the part of the position, and he accepted it without hesitation. I think I offered him the contract, and within half an hour, I received the acceptance. I was pretty excited, and as soon as I started hearing what he was recording, man, it should be a bestseller right now on Audible, especially not because
the voice sounds
of
good.
Just the narration
sounds
and everything,
good.
but that's so fun. I had so much fun reading that and listening to it.
If this computer,
And at the end of the day, as
a
publisher, that's what you want to publish is something that you can read over and over and over, because you really will, how we were talking about, become the editor. So you're going to read it over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that with no problem and still have fun every single time with it, I mean, that's gold.
That's how you know you're playing with a good story. That's how you know you have a good story. So it's doing well. It's doing well. You got a great voice actor who's worked with it. Man, dude, so it must be doing well. I mean, it looks like it's being reviewed, been received favorably. That's good. That's good, man. Man.
It is, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what it really does at the Comic Cons. The last time I try to offer something at the Comic Cons for free. So my first Comic Con, Sugar Skulls hadn't been released yet, so I was doing a lottery for a free signed copy of it. Easy enough. So our last one was December, the punk rock flea market, and by then I had the full cover release and everything for Siphon, so I offered a free signed copy of it. And just the cover alone was, artists and graphic designers were walking by and stopping and seeing what the heck it had to do with it, and that was the last time I've done a con with Siphon available. I'm really excited to start getting into con season.
The cover looks amazing. The cover does look very fucking amazing. It's gonna do well.
Yeah, Medina did that.
The Siphon cover?
He's a jack of all trades, and he does good. He did the cover to Eat the Rich by Renee Miller, and that cover's gorgeous.
How's that one doing? How's Eat the Rich? How's Eat the Rich doing?
We haven't released that yet. We'll release that in July. We're still going through.
And I have to ask,
through the proof.
It's Renee Miller. Is there some erotic elements in that one?
Nothing too crazy. It's just a beautifully told story.
Okay.
If it's about, imagine if we were to wipe out in any currency, any social status, everybody becomes equal. There's no poverty. There's no, high class, middle class, nothing. Everybody just becomes,
like what communism was supposed to be on paper, everyone's equal.
Pretty much.
Okay.
In modern day, and it's something that everybody kind of wishes for, in secretly, but to actually have it forced upon you, which just like how you said communism, but.
How does it work? So does someone have a car? You have the same car. So if your neighbor has a Honda, and you have like a Ford, you're like, is that a problem? Like, so everyone has the same stuff in this book, Eat the Rich?
No, it starts out. It goes through the point of view of about 5 different main characters.
Okay.
A few more other ones, but lots of point of views. Of course, there's law enforcement, and then there's the aliens' point of views. But what they do is they start taking out the rich.
You say alien
at the beginning, and
when you say alien, do you mean illegal alien, like Mexican, or do you talk about like Martian?
Well, wouldn't they all be illegal though? Wouldn't a Martian be illegal? Do they have?
Oh,
would Donald Trump consider them illegal?
You got me there. It would also be an illegal alien.
Yeah, so worldwide they camouflage themselves as homeless people. So there is some irony there. They camouflage themselves as homeless people, start destroying, wiping out the high class secretly. They go and kill them, pretty much. Layman's terms, they kill them.
The homeless people. The homeless people are the aliens. They're killing the rich.
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
Exactly.
Kill the homeless people. Man, I don't know.
Then,
I don't know.
The law enforcement comes in and trying to figure it out, and then you got this rich guy, upper middle class. He leaves. He says, "Fuck this whole monetary bullshit. I'm tired of working day to day for nothing, just to have this house and this yard that I don't even enjoy." He leaves his life and goes to the homeless people. So then he ends up getting entwined with the camouflaged alien, and it just becomes this whole thing where they just destroy, like literally destroy and kill all, for the most part, all high class, to bring everybody to an equal state.
So,
and if you don't conform, they kill you. So it's very.
So what happens to all the money? Who gets all the money when the wealthy fat cat dies? Is it just like
probably Donald Trump? He probably ran and with Melania and Ivanka and Ananka and who knows what other children he has.
Ivanka.
Yes. Ivanka Trump Tapia.
Mm-hmm.
Hyphen Tapia.
She could be an ice queen. She could be an ice queen too. I bet she would be. She seems like the sort of woman that would suck your soul. I don't know. Trying to think of some of those. Trying to think of some Hollywood celebrities that would be like an ice queen. But
honestly, I'm waiting for this presidency to be over and her status to drop and fail her to where she has to do a Hustler shoot, and I'd be okay. Hustler, Playboy, and maybe even a Pornhub leaked video.
Didn't Melania already do something like that though? Doesn't Melania have like nudes out there or something? Wasn't that one of the rumors? Like, Melania.
I think so. I think that was a big thing during the campaign, wasn't it?
But you know what? Most people were just like, especially like his base, like, you mean to tell me that the first woman has nudes? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. See that? There's nothing to be like, you mean to tell me Trump got it on with a porn star? Oh, hell yeah. I mean,
the one time I give Trump
you mean to tell me that Trump shared a beer with Putin? Oh, fuck yeah, man. You know, it was just, there's nothing. Like, Jesus.
Fuck yeah. It's funny the state that we've come to these past years.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's so bizarre. It's like reality is like a bizarro story. It
really is.
Mm-hmm.
It really truly is.
I honestly stopped paying attention to the news for the past few months. I have no idea what the fuck is going on, and I really don't care. You know, I heard something about Russia, this still with Britain poisoning. I don't know. I'm like,
yeah,
man, I don't know. I don't even know.
It's hard to be on certain social media platforms because they get so flooded with it.
Yeah.
And that's why
they do.
Even Marchese had his blog post talking about social media, and for me myself, I end up coming in waves. You know, for like a day or two, I'm just flooding it. My brain's going with funny fucking shit or whatever it may be, but I'm flooding Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and then I start actually paying attention to everybody else's posts, and I realize, man, there's just so much bitterness and ugliness out there.
Yeah, there is a lot of ugly toxicity to social media. You see it there. I do like Marchese's discipline. Yeah. He's made it to where just about every date there's some sort of like motivational post, and that's pretty cool.
I look forward to his. There are mornings. I'm sure
it's like a coffee time with Marchese.
What am I doing?
A coffee time with a little teddy bear. That's what it is, man. You can cuddle with that guy. Well, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, Marchese? You know what I'm saying. You know, it's coffee time with Marchese. That's, you know what? If he still listens to me for ideas, that's what his YouTube thing should be. Coffee time or coffee with Marchese. And he should just...
I like
he's having like coffee with you. And he's just talking to you. Like, you know, about this or that. I think that'd be cool.
I think that I would. I mean, I'd read his posts every time, anyways. Why would even the few videos that he's been doing? I watch them, whether or not make it is a whole different other story. But you know, he is one of the other inspirational figures I have in my writing world.
He is a very inspirational person. He can motivate. He motivated me. He motivated me to finally get off my ass and really focus on the YouTube scene. You know, I was on Spreaker for a while because it was easier, and I didn't really think this computer could really handle it. But now, kind of because of his help, I have 3 fucking shows on YouTube: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And it's working. This gaming on Monday, and on Wednesday is the shit show. The shit show, where I pretty much take an hour to showcase the crazy shit that happens on the internet. So one episode was like crazy girlfriend fights, psycho girlfriends. One day, same month. So one day was crazy girlfriends. The other day was, I think, crazy boyfriends, psycho boyfriends. I try to do that. And then it really, honestly, man, the last episode really topped it. I don't know if I can outdo that. I dug deep on the internet and I found stuff. I didn't really want to find. But I covered it anyway. I'm talking about like people who are like breastfeeding dogs, people who are like lathering their face of semen. I'm like, what's going on with these people? So I watch those videos and share my response, hopefully sometimes with the chat, and that's the shit show. And then on Fridays is this, the podcast. So, you know, it's cool.
I forgot about the shit show, and I was just telling you earlier that I love having all these grinders around me, you know, people that are just hustling daily with passion. And I had mentioned the 2 of your podcasts, and I completely forgot about the shit show. That's 3 on top of writing, on top of all your the anthologies you got going on, and that's much respect there.
Well, thanks, brother. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. It's not easy. It's, you know, you say you have fun. I do have fun, but sometimes it is kind of like work. It's like it's a goal that I set, so I need to achieve it, but I don't want it to be like, it's a painful process. It's not like that. It's just I got to do it.
Yeah.
But it's manageable. I've been able to do this schedule, work with it for a few weeks now, for 2 months, I think. So it's definitely manageable. Sometimes I can't do the work, but that's okay. Hey, but I'm impressed with you. You went out to the cons. Now imagine, I want to know what it's going to be like. First time going to a convention for me. And I'm going to be so fucking nervous, like pissing my pants, nervous, not knowing what to do. But it's going to be interesting. I mean, I've been there before as someone just walking around jacking off. Not at the same time, but
yeah.
You know. But as a vendor, man, that'd be cool. Be like, hey, you want to buy one of my books?
I definitely learn from my mistakes. That's my biggest learning process, is fucking up. And I hope I continue to fuck up. That way I continue learning. I don't know. I hate
That's it, brother. That's how we learn. You learn by fucking up. Exactly. I mean, hey.
One of my son is and I stole it from somewhere, and I can't remember exactly who quoted it or who said it, and it's been decades since they said it. It's a little quaint, but the fool learns from his own mistakes. Oh, God damn it! How does it go?
The fool learns from his own
mistakes. The wise one learns from the fool's mistakes. That's one of my biggest sayings that I tell to my son, that, you know, learn from my mistakes. That way you don't have to go through everything that I went through to be where I am.
That's a good lesson. That's a good lesson to bestow upon your son. And I hope he picks it up. Otherwise, he's just going to be just like you, Tapia. A winner.
Yeah. Definitely don't want him to be like me.
Oh, man. But that's a lot of pressure, too, as a parent, as a dad. Ooh, man. You want your kids to do right, you know? Most people.
Exactly.
You know? I mean, hell,
well, you got kids. You definitely know
I do,
man. The pride and the struggle there.
Yeah.
Now imagine them to your cons next to you while you're at a booth. And for some reason, I have custody with my kids, and for some reason, every single event that I can find that I can get into always falls on my weekends with my kids. And it's fun because I want to show my son, my son's about to be 13. My daughter's only 3, so she doesn't understand the hustling aspect yet. But I want my son to understand that if you have a dream, you have to fight for it. There's nobody out there famous that didn't fight for their dream. And so it's fun having him next to me, but at the same time having him and my daughter next to me, having to take care of them, plus interact with people, plus make sales, plus everything, plus get them fed, and it definitely becomes a load. Not a negative load, but it can get stressful sometimes. And luckily, I have my fiance, and if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be doing any of this at all. Period.
Yeah, I think it's like I'm so structured, so rigid in like what I do, especially with my job and the way I'm with my kids and family, that I would need to like plan definitely in advance for going to a convention and get it arranged. I'll probably have to take time off work, maybe do some with the kids, maybe they'd be sad, be watched by someone, because I don't know, it seems like there's some variables there that I need to address. But see, I'm probably overthinking it too. I overthink a lot of. But I mean, when you go, you usually go on the weekends, right?
Yeah, they're
okay.
Probably always on the weekend.
Yeah, when people typically tend to be off. Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll get one that starts on a Friday. There's one I'm going to. I think it's the one next month, the Starfest convention.
And you go on the road.
That one starts on a Friday.
And you go on the road doing this.
Not too far. I hope to be able to travel out of state. I wanted to travel out of state this year. I doubt I'm going to be able to do that. I'll hopefully do one next year out of state. But either way, it's still out of the road. Most of the time, it's no further than an hour and a half away.
But you know what's cool about that, though? You know what's so cool about that? By you going to conventions that are near you and interacting with those people, you probably have, not that this is a pissing contest or anything, but you probably have someone out there who's reading one of your books, who met you. He's probably like a fanboy or fangirl. And like, just, yeah. I don't know. Like, you probably have.
I would.
Like you probably have a following. Maybe. Something. I don't know.
I guess that's the hope for all of us, right?
It kind of is, but at the same time, when you realize that there are those that follow you, you're kind of, for me, when I realize that, I'm just like, why? I'm like, well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the stuff. I'm glad you enjoy the anthologies, the issues, the books. Continue reading. I mean, thank you. What else can I say? But
the funny thing, half the time, I make a book sale. They're holding it, and I have to ask. But it becomes awkward. I'm like, would you like me to sign it? Like, oh, yeah, of course. And then as soon as, even all the sales, as soon as they walk away with one of my books, if I have the time to think, because towards the end of the day it gets a little more busy, but if I have the time to think, I start immediately think, fuck, they're going to hate my shit. I'm going to suck. They're going to think I'm shit, you know. And I started just doubting myself the whole time. But then,
you know what though? I remember being at conventions and buying stuff and going through the dealer's room. There were many purchases I made that were probably pretty damn stupid. And they sounded like good deals at the time. Not saying Hindered Souls is one of them. Okay. I'm just saying when they're in there in the buyer's, in the dealer's room or the vendor's room, whatever they call it now, and it's kind of towards the end of the day, so they're going to spend money, especially when it's towards the end of the con, like on the Sunday. They're definitely spending money if they have any left. I don't know. It's like if it looks good, and if it's a good looking product and it's the dealer is presentable, as I imagine you are, yeah, you got it. See, I'd be there with my shades, with my sunglasses indoors, but hey, you want this book?
Sunglasses.
Hey, I gotta keep the image. I don't have my sunglasses. Fuck, I lost the image. But I had to have the sunglasses and the cigar. I'd be like, hey, come here. You want this book? I don't know.
I don't find myself that presentable. I show up in, Chuck Taylor Converse shoes, Dickies shorts, and always a Hindered Souls Press white T-shirt, and it has I have two different shirts that I wear, and then lately it's been hair slicked back with a trimmed beard, at least, kind of kempt, upkempt, but yeah, I mean, shit. We had an event about 2 weeks ago, and a week before that they had a walkthrough, and I showed up. I have my 3-year-old and my 12-year-old, and on top of that, like I said, I'm in my Chucks, I'm in Dickie shorts, slick back hair, and a Nirvana T-shirt, and there's some other authors there, and even the librarian that's supposed to show us where everything's supposed to be, and they're just shunning me the whole time. The entire time, they're just, I tried talking, they begin talking over me. And finally, the librarian says, okay, I'm going to show you guys where everything's going to be at next week. That way you know exactly where to go. And at that exact moment, my daughter comes up to me and says, Daddy, I need to go potty. So, a 3-year-old, you're not going to hold them too long without them pissing their pants.
Yeah.
So I asked everybody, I say, hey, can you give me 3-4 minutes so I could take my daughter to use the restroom? And all of them acknowledged me. They all looked at me and said, nodded their heads and just kept talking after that. So I go and I take her to the restroom. As soon as I sit her down, my son walks into the restroom. We're in the stall. He walks into the restroom, and he just starts apologizing. Like, what's going on? It was, Dad, as soon as you walked out of the room, they all left. And this is a 5-6-story library downtown Denver, and they just all left me behind. So I was livid. I was pissed, to say the least. And that day, I was like, fuck that. I don't want to deal with them. I want my money back. This is how I'm going to get treated. And as another day passed, I was like, fuck. Oh, and on top of that, I guess I haven't mentioned that I have arm tattoos.
Who doesn't have tattoos? Who doesn't have tattoos this day and age?
Tattoos.
Jesus.
You got a Mexican with tattoos on his arms, all green, in the middle of downtown amongst a bunch of, proper writers and others. So
just about everyone's mom. Just about everyone's mom has a tattoo now because they think it's cool. Everyone has fucking tattoos. They need to get over it. Shit.
Yeah. My thing after that is I started putting out ads on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. I said, you have a face tattoo, come and visit us. You have any type of tattoos or anything that people have shunned you for, come visit us, and you get, you know, huge discounts. My thing was I wanted to make everybody feel uncomfortable, and at the same time realize that you can't judge someone because they have tattoos or slick back hair or however they're dressed and say, oh, they're not proper, they don't read, you know, they're uneducated. Because there's a huge crowd out there that look like shit that I probably even run across and, you know, don't even give a second look to, and they're smarter than me. They're, you know, a better human than me, period. So that's, I don't know, I guess that's part of me trying to be humble, but at the same time, my upbringing is like, fuck you, you're going to see me, and you're going to recognize me, and you're going to respect me at the end of the day.
Damn straight, man. Damn straight. Might as well. Damn.
Yeah.
Tapia, you have a lot of experience. You have a lot of experience with working these conventions, and that, I tell you, people who listen to this podcast are going to learn so much from it. I mean, I know you're just starting out. I know Hindered Souls is still in its infancy. I can't even say it, but man, you'd be surprised. I bet you probably opened maybe Mark Casey's mind, maybe even Gary's mind about, hey, maybe I should hit some conventions. Maybe I could do this. You definitely motivated me. Now I definitely want to get on my phone and be like, okay, what's coming up next in Houston?
Oh, dude, you know? My sister lives in Austin. So like I was telling you not so long ago, there are so many conventions out, and especially in Texas, the biggest state in the freaking union. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's so many conventions there. It's just about trying to get to them and paying the fees and getting yourself set up. It's taken me.
I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna drive like an hour. I don't know if I'm gonna drive more than an hour to like a convention center. Not on my first go. On my first go, I'll probably go like someplace in Houston. You know, see what's going on, and go from there.
So one of the biggest cons in Colorado is the Denver Comic Con. It's held, you know, in the heart of downtown Denver Convention Center, and that's the first place I looked. I was like, oh man, I wonder how much that would be. And a booth there was, if I remember correctly, around $600.
Wow.
And so that was disheartening immediately. But you know, I kept at it, looking at other places. And my first Comic-Con, and I still don't even pay. The most I've paid for any of the conventions that I have lined up even is $150. Other than that,
man, now I definitely want to do this. I want to hit the road. Fuck. Okay, I know what I'm doing now. I got a plan.
I mean, my first convention, $80 for a booth for 2 days, and probably, I came out ahead easily and have a lot more memories, like personal memories. I have photos taken with a lot of people that I was able to tag afterward, you know, on Instagram or whatever it may be. But
yeah, I feel like doing this would definitely help. I mean, I want to experience that. You know, I'm getting some online traction, but to get some like face to face, not be the shut in, not be the you know, just
honestly, that's where the action is. At least what I've experienced, and it's fun. That's the most fun I have out of all of it is talking about all the books. You know, I'm excited to start talking about Medina Siphon at next month's con, and in a few months I'll be able to talk about his Siphon and Renee Miller's Eat the Rich, and then by the end of the year I'll be talking about Leo's Jesus of Scumberg and
Jesus of Scumberg. Oh man,
Jesus of Scumberg. It's a punk rock.
Jesus of Scumberg. Yeah, that sounds like a punk rock band, a punk band. Jesus of Scumberg.
It is.
Okay.
That one, your skin itched from the inside. I have, of course, fun reading that one too, and I'm excited for that one to come out. That one's gonna be one of those.
You were the guy
that you love, or you.
You actually reviewed He's Risen, the Deadman's Tome He's Risen, the Jesus issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fucking fun. I love that one.
It was a fun issue,
That's
too.
one of my Deadman's Tome issues. And I've read the ancient ones. You know, I support my Deadman's Tome because that's one of the places where I got my, as well as other people known as Buller and Marchese. I imagine. I'm not sure. I guess I shouldn't speak for
cool.
them. But
I feel, wow, that warms my heart. I have a heart.
What?
I felt it. I felt it move. Buller, Marchese,
did it just
Tapia. Wow. That's man. And there's even people like way back before the hiatus that Deadman's Tome had. I've been reaching out to them, be like, what if we could do like a reunion? Because I haven't talked to you guys in ages, and you guys are doing things. Some of them are still writing, they're still publishing. One of them was man, I'm probably gonna butcher her last name, Mercedes with a Y, Yeltley. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but she's still writing, and she's actually, I think she's been published through. I don't know, man. I could look at it before I'm dropping names incorrectly, but she's still around, and she has books out, novels out, and she seems like she's doing pretty well for herself. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not.
There's got to be
like,
there's got to be a sense of pride in that for you.
It is. I mean, I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, I made her. I'm not gonna say that, but it's cool though. It's like I published one of her stories. It was cool. Yeah. Because at the same time, there's people that like I published are just like, that's it. They're done. No more. Okay. All right.
It's fun. It's been fun growing with everybody.
Yeah. And that's a good experience. Well, hey Tapia, coming towards the end of this podcast real fast. You have anything you want to plug real fast? Anything you want to shout out before we wrap this up?
Just the normal, I guess. I usually push everybody else's work before my own. So, you got Aphotic Realm. They got their new issue that has I have a short story in it, but they've got
a very good looking issue. Very good. Aphotic Realm is very. I mean, I was very impressed by it. Yeah, it's just.
Oh yeah.
Matter of fact,
I'm excited to grow alongside them. Deadman's Tome, fucking shit fest out. You got what else do you got going on right now?
Shitfest is a new release.
Ancient Ones 2.
Ancient Ones 2 is coming out soon. And after that, I'm calling for submissions for Deadman's Tome Conspiracy, where we'll be covering various conspiracies, modern day conspiracies too. So everything that's conspiracies is open. Everything, even Las Vegas. So UFOs, JFK, 9/11, Las Vegas. If you can make it entertaining, all right, let's explore it. But
okay.
And then the meat grinder, I definitely really want to push the meat grinder. I know. I think they can reach an audience because of course, it's obvious. Not a lot of people read, but
yeah,
if you can make it like entertaining and bring in like people of drama a little bit, so you put a little hint, a little spice of that. Hopefully it doesn't spiral out of control. But the authors that compete with each other, I see a future where there's that competitive edge where they try to like outdo one another or something. They're like, oh, that story's beating mine. Okay, well let me take my story and share it with these people, or something. That way there's that competitive edge, and it's like, okay, and you can earn money.
It's like you compared it to the Gladiator Coliseum type of environment.
That would be fun.
That's pretty badass.
I think people would enjoy it. I know people, because there's many times where you read a story, you probably want to give your feedback, but you probably don't want to hurt their feelings. But what if it is an open forum and they know what to expect? the people who get published through the meat grinder know what to expect. Okay.
Shit, yeah.
So you could be as brutally honest as you want. You could be like the father that never gave them the whole rundown like they should have. That chastising speech. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
That, son, did I ever tell you you're a piece of shit? Son, how dare you publish that? That embarrasses the family. You know? And right now we have 3 stories there. Canvas. Not to be confused with canvas. It's canvas. Okay.
Canvas.
Yeah.
2 S's.
Yeah, 2 S's. Yeah. Canvas, bitches, and double click.
I'm going to have to get on there this weekend and check it out.
Yeah, you got to, man. You got to. And share it around. Oh, man. I've been sharing around. But
yeah.
And I'm excited. I want to listen to the Marchese and Buller show tomorrow. See what they say.
Yeah,
I was like, hey, can I call in? It's like, I'm not gonna be able to call in. Damn it! I want to call in and just squeeze in one fuck. Be like, hey, Marchese. Hey, I just want to say, fuck. I'm just joking with you, Marchese. Hey.
Oh man, get scanned and just explode. Love you, Marchese.
Yeah, Marchese's cool. Marchese's cool. All right, man. With that said, dude, it was great having you. I could spend an hour talking just about like Siphon because we haven't dug into that about what the story's about. I've been reading into it. And,
oh man, that's so fun. Audiobook, ebook, any format platform you need, it's there.
All right, all right. Well, you take it easy, Tapia. You take it easy.
All right, my brother.
All right, all right.
You have a good night. Thanks for having us on.
Hey, no
having
problem.
me on. Me and personalities, I guess. Us.
Hey, I got personalities too, apparently. This Luigi hat. You can't see it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to stop the stream. And now.